Hi, I'm Tim Mackey. I'm one of the founders of the Bible Project, and today's verse of the day comes from Paul's letter to the Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 12, which reads, "For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms." This is in almost the last paragraph of Paul's whole letter. And all throughout, he's been building up this portrait of two powers at work in our world. The ultimate power, which created the world and which is redeeming it, is the creative power and love of Jesus, who is the resurrected King of heaven and earth. However, there are rebellious powers at work in our world, and we are caught in the middle of that struggle. He talks about how, for a follower of Jesus, the real enemy is never another human. Rather, it's mysterious, dark, spiritual powers and forces that are behind what he calls the rulers and the authorities. And what Paul means by these words is essentially what we would call institutions, governments, economies, businesses, social movements. When humans get together in groups, what we tend to do is exalt our own set of self-made values, our culture, our worldviews, our economy, our military, and we begin to treat them as divine, as if they have ultimate power of justice and truth and goodness, and we obey them and sacrifice ourselves for them. These are what Paul calls the principalities and powers, and he believes that they're ultimately driven by dark, destructive forces that want to destroy life instead of create new life. And so Paul says our real battle is against those big picture realities, the principalities and powers. And Paul believes Jesus is already in charge of those powers, and he summons them to allegiance to him. And so what that means for us is recognizing on any given day our real enemy is something much bigger, and it's something behind the scenes of what we mostly see in our day-to-day life. Jesus has already gone to confront those forces. That's what he did in his life and death and resurrection. And what you and I are called to do, is he's going to go finish reading the paragraph after the verse of the day, is to simply stand firm and stay faithful to the good news about Jesus, to the truth about him, and being ready to tell people the good news that Jesus is the resurrected King of heaven and earth, not the powers that govern our lives, so it seems. So this is an important, actually a really important line in the whole letter to the Ephesians. The whole chapter is worth reading. But it's an incredible word of encouragement when you look at the world around you and you feel like it's out of control, and where is Jesus in the midst of it all? He's the reigning king, and we are called to stand firm and bear witness that he is the true King of heaven and earth and will ultimately renew the union of heaven and earth once and for all.